Right now, top Border Patrol and ICE officials are speaking in Minneapolis, addressing the incident involving that 5-year-old boy who was detained by officers. ICE Executive Assistant Director Marco Charles just spoke about it. Let's listen.
This week, ICRO conducted targeted enforcement operation to arrest Adrian Alexander Conejo Arias, an illegal alien who was released back into the interior of the United States by the previous administration. When officers approached Conejo Arias, he and his child were in a vehicle. Arias fled from law enforcement on foot, abandoning his child in the middle of winter in a vehicle. One of our officers stayed behind with that child while other officers apprehended his father. After conducting the arrest, my officers stayed with the child. They cared for him, took him to get something to eat from a drive-through restaurant, and spent hours ensuring he was taken care of. Again, my officers did that, not his father. My officers did everything they could to reunite him with his family. Tragically, when we approached the door of his residence, the people inside refused to take him in and open the door. Let me say it again. They saw the young boy and they refused to open the door and take him back. This is the human side of the job that my officers do. They are family men and women. They have children of their own. They sacrifice everything for their families. I know for a fact that they were heartbroken to see the child's own family leave him behind. Fortunately, Conejo Arias eventually requested that his child stay with him. We do everything in our power not to separate families. So they took him back together to Minneapolis, here to the city, to the ICE facility for processing, and now they are being well cared for at a family residential center, pending their immigration proceedings. This is the real face of ICE, ERO, Border Patrol, and our allied partners. The media doesn't know our officers, we do. My officers do the right thing no matter how difficult or how long it takes throughout the day. Let me debunk a couple more lies. Conejo Arias was not walking to school with his child, and we did not target the child. Arias fled from law enforcement officers and left his child behind. Again, middle of winter, in a car. We will enforce the law as it's written, but we will go above and beyond to reunite families because that is who we are. I also want to clarify the recent arrests of the ringleaders of the city's church riots. Federal law protects the freedom of religion and the right to worship without interference. What these agitators did was not a peaceful protest. They rioted at church services. They screamed and harassed children. They denied Minnesotans the ability to worship peacefully. Again, this was not a peaceful protest. You don't go in front up to a child and yell at them. That is not a peaceful protest. I've been in law enforcement for 33 years now, and this is the first time I've ever seen a protest in a church where they're harassing individuals trying to peacefully worship. It's disturbing to know that these individuals would target sacred spaces and viciously harass innocent families. Sacred spaces must be respected. While I cannot speak to ongoing investigations and prosecutions, I can say that ICE, DHS, and the Department of Justice are wholly committed to maintaining public safety and the rule of law. That is why we are here today. I am calling on everyone, politicians, the media, and activists, to put an end to the dangerous, irresponsible rhetoric once and for all. You are pitting communities against federal law enforcement, and you are pitting neighbor against neighbor in Minnesota. This is why I'm up here almost every day, to show you the good work my officers are doing. This is the same reason that Chief Bovino is up here every day. The public needs to know about the dangerous criminal illegal aliens we're arresting. They need to see the faces of the monsters that these agitators are trying to protect. Yesterday, we arrested the following individuals. Jose Ocampo Leon, a criminal illegal alien from Mexico, convicted of sexual conduct with a child under 16. Also up on these. Gerardo Sanchez Acuna, a criminal illegal alien.
Okay, we're going to pull out, but we'll
drug
continue to monitor for you. I want to have our reporter join us, MSN's Alex Tabbitt, who's been there in Minnesota, to just fact check and give us some more context on what we just heard there from this ICE official. Alex, let's start with what we heard him describe as the situation unfolded involving this 5-year-old child you and I were discussing in the last hour, Liam Conejo Ramos. How does this story we just heard from the officials stack up to what witnesses have said?
Very much at odds, Anna. So we just heard from Marcos Charles, the acting executive associate director of ICE, and he made 3 big claims in this press conference. The first one is my officers did everything they could to reunite him with his family. Now, that is at odds with what the school district is saying. The school district is saying that there was an adult who lived in the same household as Ramos who offered to take care of him, albeit they did not say whether that adult was a part of his family or not. And they say that the ICE agents refused the handing over of Ramos to that adult. Another one of the things that he says is that when we approached the door, the people inside refused to take him and open the door. We also heard the school district say that they used that little boy as bait. So there's a lot of he said, she said, 2 sides of this story. Anna?
And the school district also saying the dad has a legal asylum claim here that's still pending. Alex, stay with me. We want to go back into what's happening there in Minneapolis. Border Patrol official Greg Bovino is now addressing the situation.
Law enforcement agency anywhere nationwide to show me the fantastic care that ICE and U.S. Border Patrol provide children. Don't come across the border illegally, especially don't commit crimes, or there will be consequences. And American citizens face it. So, the law is fair and firm.
If I may follow up, you said he's with his family. Another way of looking at that might be that we don't imprison or detain American children, penalizing them for the actions of their parents. So what do you say to those who are troubled by the contrast? They see a child in custody. American kids don't endure that.
Well, I don't think there's a contrast, and the child could be without his parents somewhere, perhaps in social services care somewhere, and that's what we see oftentimes by children that are trafficked across the border. It's heartbreaking. They're not with any family. They're with social services or Office of Refugee and Resettlement. So the child is in the least restrictive setting with a family member. I don't think it gets any better than that. And as far as the care, the best care that I've seen is ICE, U.S. Border Patrol, and the way we treat those illegal aliens that come across the border.
Can you give any details as to what that facility is like? What's the kid's life like?
I'll let Marcos talk about it. It's an ICE facility, not a Border Patrol facility, sir.
So our family residential centers, I had the privilege of working in one back in 2015. So I can tell you firsthand, they get top-notch care. They have medical care. The food is good. They have learning services. They have church services available. They have recreation. They have special caregivers to see to the needs of the children and the mothers or families that are there. It's better. Honestly, it's better than social services. So, I mean, like if we sent the kid to DSS, they'd be way worse off than being there with their parents in an FRC.